If you can't get enough of Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone, watch this 8-episode series everyone thought was part of the same franchise. Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone franchise currently focuses on spin-offs and prequels of the iconic original neo-Western drama. But until the story of the modern-day Duttons picks back up, there is a perfect show for those looking for more gritty Western action. As it stands, the Yellowstone franchise has at least 2 series in development that can continue some of the narratives that ended abruptly when the finale for Season 5 became the show's series finale. A Michelle Pfeiffer-led drama titled The Madison is already in production, and a Beth and Rip-centric spinoff is also reportedly in the works. There are more related projects in development, including the next prequel series that focuses on past Duttons, 1944, and 6666, which will follow the adventures of Jefferson White's Ginny Herdstrom on the Four Sixes Ranch in Texas, which was featured in Seasons 4 and 5 of Yellowstone. There are no release dates available for any of those 4 projects, though meaning that once the second season of 1923 ends, Yellowstone fans will have some waiting in store. Fortunately, that provides an opportunity to catch another Taylor Sheridan show that should satisfy fans of Yellowstone and its prequels. Lawman. Bass Reeves is a limited miniseries that stars David Oyelowo as Bass Reeves, a real former slave turned deputy U.S. Marshal in the years following the American Civil War. After being commissioned as a deputy U.S. Marshal in 1875, Reeves ranged across a massive territory in modern-day Oklahoma and Arkansas, hunting down criminals. Per the Encyclopedia Britannica, he finished his career with over 3,000 arrests and killed 14 outlaws wanted for various severe crimes. The show checks in at various points in Reeves' life. It includes plenty of Western gunslinger action, along with a slow-burn story of vengeance. While Taylor Sheridan was only an executive producer on Lawman, Bass Reeves, it still checks off many of the notable traits of his shows. It has balanced pacing, a thrilling narrative, and excellent action. In addition to the Emmy and Golden Globe-nominated Oyelowo, the show features stellar performances from stars like Dennis Quaid, Donald Sutherland, and Barry Pepper as the unsettling villain Esau Pierce. The 8-part series about the life of the famous lawman is an entertaining watch for any audience, but it is especially thrilling for those who love classic and neo-westerns. For quite some time leading up to the release of Lawman, Bass Reeves, the show was branded as a prequel to the Yellowstone spinoff, 1883. And would therefore be set in the same universe as the modern-day Duttons, just in the distant past. While that, of course, led to the notion that the ancestors of Yellowstone characters could appear, the show was rebranded as part of an anthology series. While no other Lawman-branded series have been announced, David Oyelowo recently expressed his optimism regarding a second season of Lawman, Bass Reeves. Despite the show being unrelated to Yellowstone, there are plenty of connecting threads that encourage fans of the modern show embrace Lawman, Bass Reeves. Aside from the Western action and tropes, the show's setting in an area formerly known as Indian Territory means the show includes a number of diverse perspectives, particularly regarding the indigenous people and former slaves who lived in that area. Lawman. Bass Reeves is a must-watch for any fan of Yellowstone, and is a great way to pass the time until the next project from the Yellowstone universe debuts. If you're a die-hard fan of Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone, you're no doubt hooked on its powerful storytelling, complex characters, and sweeping landscapes. The gritty drama revolving around the Dutton family, with its intense feuds, betrayal, and high-stakes power plays, has captured the attention of viewers across the globe. But what if I told you there's another series out there that fans once thought was a part of the Yellowstone universe, but it isn't? That series is 1883. While it may seem like an obvious spin-off, 1883 actually stands on its own, diving deeper into the past of the Dutton family and the hardships they faced while making their way west. This 8-episode series offers viewers a chance to connect the dots between the old world and the new, with epic storytelling and gripping performances. Here's why you can't afford to miss it, especially if you're all about the Yellowstone saga. The foundation of the Dutton dynasty. At first glance, 1883 might seem like it's simply trying to ride the coattails of Yellowstone's success. But that couldn't be further from the truth. 1883 is a bold and gritty prequel, shedding light on how the Dutton family's Montana ranch came to be. Set in the late 19th century, it explores the struggles of James and Margaret Dutton, played by Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, as they lead their family on a harrowing journey westward to find a better life. The wild, unforgiving frontier is filled with its own set of challenges, from violent Native American confrontations to hostile weather conditions, and the ever-present threat of death on the open trail. This series expertly weaves the roots of the Dutton family into the broader story of the American West, giving you a deeper understanding of the world that would later come to be dominated by John Dutton, Kevin Costner, and his family in Yellowstone. The similarities between the characters in both shows are uncanny, and fans will appreciate the way 1883 layers the family's generational trauma, just as Yellowstone does so effectively. A cast that rivals Yellowstone. While Yellowstone may boast an impressive ensemble cast, 1883 has its own star power that elevates the story to another level. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill step into the roles of James and Margaret Dutton with an intensity and vulnerability that are impossible to ignore. Their dynamic is one of the most compelling aspects of the show, as they try to navigate the wilderness while keeping their family intact. You'll find yourself rooting for them as they face hardships that seem insurmountable, and their complex relationship mirrors the struggles faced by Yellowstone's own Duttons. The show also features stand-up performances from Sam Elliott, who plays Sheep Brennan, a weathered cowboy tasked with leading the wagon train. His gruff yet compassionate portrayal of a man who has lived a lifetime of loss is truly a sight to behold. This is a role that feels tailor-made for Elliott, and it's a performance that stays with you long after the credits roll. His presence in 1883 is akin to the commanding authority of Yellowstone's Rip Wheeler, Cole Hauser, and both actors bring an undeniable strength to their roles. Isabel May, who plays Elsa Dutton, gives a heartbreaking performance as the young woman caught between the innocence of her youth and the brutal reality of the life that awaits her on the frontier. Her transformation throughout the series is remarkable, and her performance is an emotional anchor for the show. It's this combination of seasoned veterans and fresh talent that gives 1883 a vibrancy all its own. The same gritty, uncompromising storytelling. One of the main reasons Yellowstone became a hit was its unapologetic portrayal of the harsh realities of life on a ranch. The show doesn't shy away from the violence and the tough decisions that come with running a massive property like the Dutton Ranch. 1883 follows that same blueprint, but with even more ferocity. From ambushes by bandits to the constant threat of starvation and illness, the stakes in 1883 are as high as they get. The show doesn't pull any punches, and the brutality of the frontier is on full display. The characters are forced to make unimaginable choices in order to survive, and the emotional toll it takes on them is deeply felt. You'll see characters grapple with death, the loss of loved ones, and the collapse of their dreams, all while trying to hold on to their humanity. Just like Yellowstone, 1883 is unflinching in its exploration of the darker side of human nature. Breathtaking cinematography and setting. If you're a fan of the stunning cinematography in Yellowstone, 1883 is sure to impress. The sweeping shots of the American landscape, ranging from vast plains to rugged mountains, are nothing short of breathtaking. Every frame feels like a postcard, and you'll find yourself lost in the beauty of the wide-open spaces that defined this era. The cinematography not only enhances the story, but also sets the tone, creating a sense of isolation and struggle that permeates the entire series. In terms of setting, 1883 does a remarkable job of immersing viewers in the historical time period. The costuming, the wagons, the settlements, all of it is meticulously crafted to transport you back in time. This isn't just a show about a family crossing the frontier. It's an exploration of a defining moment in American history, where the promise of the West was often overshadowed by the realities of survival.